Hello, everyone. We've all seen this a couple times already, so you can click through the other time. This time, we mean business. We're serious about payroll.
Let's go.
All right? Because we got to get going with this. Okay. Everybody's familiar with payroll. Everybody's familiar with paychecks, ADP. You know, we're offering the same service, helping them run their business. We're going through these quick because I just want to get into the selling part, and also I want to make sure we get out of here. Any particular travel. Once again, so dealing with the payroll servicer just helps them run their business. It controls their costs, it increases their productivity, it reduces their administrative burdens. They don't have to cut the checks. They don't have to worry about doing the payroll tax returns, since we're all doing it for them. Okay. Obviously, payroll services, everybody's good with that. It makes it easy for them to pay their employees. Now, they don't have to worry about updating new laws, filling out the forms, calculating what their proper withholdings are. We take care of all of that. We also give them support to take care of their customers when they may have questions with them. You're going to find in our program, really, we're doing everything with it. We do the tax filing. We print the checks and deliver to them the next morning. We sign and stuff the checks. So they come, if they want all sealed and ready, all they're going to do is hand out the checks to the employees. We deliver them, everything is overnight, and we give them complete payroll reports. Okay. A couple other things, one of these I just really want to focus on. We give a couple additional services that are out there. The second one is H401 Complete. That is, in essence, giving a company their own HR department. So they have professionals on staff where you can call if you want to terminate an employee. They have attorneys on staff where they can really give you the resources of a big company, but you can have it with a small company. So you're going to find this is very limited. It is a little pricey right now. We're trying to work with ADP to reduce this cost. But if you have a sizable employer, this might be something to look at. And once again, it's something that we're working at, driving the cost down on a small employee. This one here, the workers' comp solution. We work with ADP. And as you're going to see in the next slide, we have all the power of ADP behind the processing. So everything, when you go to an ADP customer, we can do the same thing. It is just like the analogy is that we're with Elevon. We can do everything that Elevon can with us. So if they're dealing with Elevon, they're dealing with us. It's the same thing. The only difference is that we can be a little more competitive in pricing, just like when we're dealing with Elevon. We can beat their pricing all day long. Head to head again, it's ADP. We'll beat their pricing all day long. Workers' comp, ADP works with about a dozen insurance companies. What they do is they're on a pay-as-you-go plan. And this is terrific for an employer who has a large employee base, especially one who may be seasoned. Because what happens is a typical workers' comp policy has a large upfront premium. So let's say I'm a restaurant in Newport, my insurance policy is calendar year. What will happen is that I get my premium. My premium is $20,000 for the year. The workers' comp company says, all right, we want 40% up front. So now I got to pay $8,000 up front in January. Tough time for a restaurant in Newport. Then, February, I'm starting making 8 payments off the balance. So by the end of August, I'm all paid off. But these are my slow months. Cash flow is tight. Also with the normal workers' comp policy, at the end of the term, the insurance company comes in and does an audit. So I may say, well, I'm going to try to get my premiums down a little. I'm going to say my payroll for the year is only $100,000. And my premiums this year is based on $100,000. Come the end of the year, the workers' comp auditors come in. They say your payroll is $200,000. Now you owe us the difference, because they'll recalculate the premium, and now you're going to pay that. So come next December, I got to pay that workers' comp order. And what else do I got to do? I got that upfront premium for next year coming due too. So it becomes a cash flow crunch all in 1 month. What we do here is pay as you go. ADP will calculate, and they're part of workers' comp company, will calculate your actual premiums as you go. So what that means is when your payroll is low, your premiums are low. Come June, July, August, when now your payroll goes up, your premiums go up, but what do you got? You've got revenue now to cover that. So what it does is it matches your expenditures to where you're incurring the payroll and when you're receiving the income. It is a great cash flow type of thing. Also with this is at the end of the year, you have no audit because they've calculated it as they go. All right? So this is a big selling point to anybody who's out there with payroll. So if you're going in there, you see somebody's got payroll. I mean, a large workers' comp, a lot of employees. This is something that is very good. Also, if they're with Paychex, and they're with Paychex program, ADP works with every company that Paychex has and more. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about, well, I'm going to convert you over. How do we handle somebody who's already got this program with Paychex? No problem. ADP already works with the company. It is just a seamless slide over. All right? If somebody's midterm on their insurance policy, we can sell this, but we won't convert them till the start of their next insurance policy because it really doesn't benefit them to switch over, in mid-policy because they've already paid the upfront premiums. They've already paid the premiums for the year. So in this case, if we come into a restaurant in September, well, they've already paid the whole year's worth of premiums. So it's not worth doing that for them now. So we get their payroll up and going, then we just tell them, come January 1st, or December 1st, we're working, converting you over, and January 1st, we'll handle your workers' comp. All right? So with that, it is terrific. We're very competitive in price. Like I say, they work with about a dozen workers' comp companies, so they'll find the cheapest, best solution for your customer. Okay. Here's just a quick thing on how the whole thing works. First of all, when we go this, I want Terrence to stand up. This is what looks like somebody who sells. I think a good look. What we've done is we try to make this process as simple as possible. Really, you'll meet with the customer. The sales process is the same exact thing as merchant services. We're selling product, we're selling price, we're selling service. Okay? Obviously, I should put price at the last thing, but we're selling those. So when you're going in, either somebody's already working with another payroll company, then it's easy for us to do a comparison of their costs. The same exact thing as merchant services. We can say this and this. It is the same thing. The second thing is we talk about service, just like we do with merchant services. Are you happy with your services? Are you getting your checks timely? Are there problems? Is there that level of customer service? With that, because what happens, they're not going to be dealing with ADP. They're going to be dealing with us. Just like we have as a memo, you see it all, our stuff. One call gets it all. But really, this is the same thing. They call here, we'll have the same support staff take care of it. And then the products, like I said, we have the HR product, the workers' comp product. We have the base payroll product, which is powered by ADP. You see all our literature has powered by ADP. It is literally the same people who are doing ADP's payroll is doing ours. So really what happens is that we'll go here, when you first meet with these customers, on the next slide I'll go through the basic information you get. Don't worry about getting everything. Get as much as you can on the first call. When you're closing that, get the signatures, you'll be getting the voided check, and then we will handle the rest here. So we want to make this as easy for you as possible, having not sitting there and getting data and going back to the customer, We will take care of it. Your job is to get them to commit to it, get 2 signatures, avoid a check, and as I go through that, whatever you can in that initial meeting, and we'll take the rest. But once we get them set up, it's very easy. The customer calls in their payroll to us, or they can enter it online. What happens is it comes to us, if they call it in, we input it in the system. If they do it online, we approve it. ADP processes the payroll, and then the next day, as long as we have got it to them by 4 o'clock, they will have the paper checks in their hand by 10 o'clock the following morning. Or they can run it themselves the next day, or they can do ACH-ing, they can do ACH in their accounts. So all that is done, plus we do all this, any other services they need. If they call, if they want to make changes to their employees, if they have questions, if they change somebody's withholdings, bringing on new employees, they deal with us here at the office. We take care of it. Okay. This form here is in your book. This is, when we're signing somebody up, this is how simple it is. It's a very simple process. Okay. The top part of this is just the same things that goes on to you're getting to do to the merchant. The only things we have to find out here is how often do they do payroll? Every week? Every 2 weeks? Twice a month? Once a month? Let us know. How many employees do they have? Okay. That's it. Then you go deal into pricing. Okay. Now, there's a base weekly charge in the payroll that depends on the frequency of the payroll. So if they're a weekly payroll, the base charge to do the payroll is $25. The bi-weekly and semi-monthly is $40. If they're doing monthly, it's $60. Those are non-negotiable and the high things. Okay. Also, let me step back. The activation fee for the one-time charge, that's $100. Right now, we're waiting. We're absorbing that cost. Okay, so we're removing an obstacle right now as we're trying to get this momentum going on. So that $100 is not good. If you can get it, we appreciate it, but
what's the industry average for setting up?
$100.
$100, yeah.
So this is it. If you're dealing with ADP check. If you're dealing with paycheck, that's with paychecks. Yeah. Yes. They don't like it.
I have that in writing.
Okay? So I think as long as we have the proper mix of customers coming in, we can bring current ADPs in. Now, honestly, if every customer we were bringing in is an ADP customer, we may have an issue with the best of stuff. You can rewrite it, right.
And he's going to deal with us as...
Yes, yeah. The only thing they'll see from ADP is the checks and the reports. Okay, they will never speak to ADP.
So our customer service handles it.
Our customer service. Austin, you there? Stand up. Yeah,
Hey.
our customer service back.
Stand up. Watch out for ceiling tiles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about accounts. What's the minimum employee base that we be looking at?
We've seen-
1 or 2?
Yeah.
Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, it does, but once again, though, they don't have to worry about filing the quarterly reports. They don't have to go through finding out what their withholdings are. Once
Do we
again,
make money on 1 or 2 employees?
are we going to make money? Not really.
No, why there's 400, that's years.
But what happens is that it's in there just a little bit of revenue. So, yeah, once again, we're looking at the big picture. So, just as we'll sign a merchant account that may not process a lot, we will also sign a small payroll account. I mean, there is a little money in it. It's not as much money as a large company, but once again, it all just goes into the, we're in this for the long run. It's not a sprint, it's a long run, the company will grow.
What would you, from a merchant standpoint of view, as far as cost effectiveness, if you were running a business from a merchant and you only had 1 or 2 employees, would you be apt to go for a service such as this, or would you have like
More so.
Yeah, more so, because you,
with 1 or 2 employees?
well, one, you don't have the time to do it, because you're a one-man shop, or, once again, you're already doing everything. You don't have a payroll clerk, or you don't have a secretary normally if you're a small employer. You are that person.
All right.
2, you don't have the knowledge. So you know when you have to withhold from FICA, you know when you have to stop, collecting TDI, you know how to fill out the payroll taxes, you're going to do 3 W-2s.
What's TBI? I got it.
Yeah, see, so those types of things, as the small, like, customer, that doesn't know.
And if they're making a mistake.
Right.
Again, Joe, you don't want you focusing on the 2 employee companies. Chances are they're not going to be. I mean, when you come across them, obviously you can offer these services. But you need to know who you need to target. Again, merchant services being the main thing, how much revenue is a 2-employee company actually going to be doing? Obviously, it depends on what they do. But, to target, right? You need to target your merchant account business based on scale, just like anything else.
So what do they get for this basic charge, either weekly, semi-monthly, or monthly? They get their payroll checks prepared. So here we can have the option of having the payroll checks done on ADP checks, from ADP's checking account, which at that time, the next day, ADP issues the check, and money comes out of the merchant's account, ADP gets the covering net amount of those checks. Or we can have it so the checks are printed on the merchant's checking account. So they don't come out of ADP's checking account, but they are doing it with the routing numbers and the account number of the merchant. Or we can do it so the merchant prints the checks right at their location, so not the list. So it's all done electronically. They log into their portal with ADP. They come to the checks, they put their checks in the printer, they hit the button, prints all the information on the checks. So that's included in this. The whole thing, okay? This includes your tax filing, your quarterly tax filing report. So your 941s, your state unemployment reports, your federal unemployment reports, anything due for state withholdings, new hire reporting, all these things that all the compliance you have to do with the federal government and the state, which many payroll services charge extra for, are included in this. Right, so there's no extra cost for this quarterly reports. There's no extra cost for any of those types of services. Direct deposit issue. Okay, so you set somebody up on direct deposit, then we get next day deposit. So as long as we have the information, and we've approved it here by, I think our time it was 4 o'clock, I'm not sure. Obviously, we need to get it much earlier. But as long as we get that process, those people will have the direct deposited into the accounts the next day. Okay. We also have Visa-branded pay debit cards. What happens is many companies have unbanked employees. By that I mean they don't have checking accounts. So what happens is when they get their paycheck, they can't cash it because they don't have a bank. So either they got to go to a check cashing company or their bar or whoever they go with. A lot of bars do that. But they're also getting a fee to cash the checks. What happens here is the employee is issued a debit card. And that is every Friday or whatever it is, that card is now automatically increased for the net amount they pay. So they're out there, they can go to an ATM withdrawal, they can use it as just a regular credit card anywhere. They have that money in their hands the very next day. So that's all included in that. New hire reporting, another, a time-consuming thing you're doing with the state.
Question. Does the account service supply the merchant with the proper signage for like the background, like the wage sign?
No. No it's still your responsibility. Okay. And then the check signing and stuffing with envelopes goes up with the first step. Now it comes to a little negotiating. Our base price per paycheck is $225. So what's happening here is that if you got somebody who's on a weekly payroll, they're paying the $25. If they have 10 employees, they're paying 10 at $2.25 each, or $22.50. That's what they're paying. So this fluctuates with the number of employees. Okay? That $225 is negotiable. We can go as low as $1.75. Okay? Obviously, impossible. We like to keep it at $225. But when we're looking at price and we're looking at comparisons. This is something we can move at, and obviously with volume, number of employees, we can move down with that. The next thing is a premium that's a service that's $5 per pay period. That allows us to integrate right into QuickBooks, gives employees online access to their accounts. So what they can do is they can go on, see what they've earned to date. They can print their payroll stuff from 3 weeks ago or whatever. That's all online. It also gives the on-site check printing, which I was mentioning above, that's included. But right now, this is another thing that we're absorbing. It's $5 per pay period. To get things off and running, that's being absorbed by us. So right now, we're absorbing the $100 and absorbing the $5 just to get these things. So give some more features to make us a little bit different from everybody else out there. The next day service delivery, next day is the only way. Okay, so you can't ask us, can I do 2 day? No, it's just next day. Our base cost is 10. We can go as low as 6 on that. I like to keep it no less than $750, but we can go as low as 6. So when you add up all these, this is what they're paying on a pay period. So if somebody's already with Paychecks or with ADP, we're comparing this bottom number to what they're paying now. In most cases, you're going to find that's 10 to 20 to 30% less than what they pay. And once again, this is where we work with this. If you find someplace we're not competitive, really let us know so we can take a look at that. Right? I mean, once again, we're extremely motivated to get this up and running. So we will do everything possible with this. The other services that we need is here. There is a charge at the end of the year for W-2s. So there's a $40 setup fee
Cheap. That's cheap.
for that, plus $5 per employee. Right. This $5, I do have some room in that. We can go down to right around $4.25 on that per employee. Okay, and that is charged in January when it's time to do the W-2s at the end of the year. Just a couple other costs, too, that are in here. Workers' comp, that great workers' comp program I was speaking about. There is a $10 a month administrative charge that goes along with this. So that's above the premiums. So this is that $10 fee is a fee that ADP charges. And then ADP also has that HR 411 program. It's a $75 monthly charge. So you can see that's a little high, and that's what we're working with to try to get that more affordable, especially with a small employer. They're never going to look at that because it just doesn't make $1 for them to do what they did. Okay, a larger employer makes sense. It depends on how many employees it is.
4. No, 10. 5 weekly.
Okay, 10. Okay, so it's 40.
Yeah, plus
10,
plus
22.50.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
get
what was the $75?
the $75 is if you want that HR 411 policy.
Only if you want.
Only if you want. These are optional services. Okay. Now, any questions before I move on to this sheet right here? I'm sorry. Going back, this next day delivery, if they're printing on site, or if everybody is getting an ACH in their account, there's no paper checks, they don't need that next day delivery because there's nothing to deliver. All right, so that's only if you're having the checks delivered. Okay,
So I would assume you do seasonal.
yes. Well, obviously, if somebody's not doing a payroll, we'll have to kind of look at, we can shut them down for the month. Okay, what'll happen is they go down to a monthly payroll or whatever, the payroll frequency may change. Yes, I agree.
You had said that ADP works with several different companies, so it's an easy transition. Were you referring to the workman's comp
Yes,
insurance
yes,
companies? Okay. So, say like someone, and then I guess my other question is, these insurance companies, when, I mean, they're charging them on January 1st for the entire premium, or is it like a couple of weeks into
Who?
January? The workman's comp insurance
The
company.
existing ones?
Right, the one
Not
that, not us.
Okay,
Not us.
what happens is you get an insurance policy.
Right.
My premium is due starts January 1st. Okay, December 1st, I get a bill saying I want 40% of your premiums are due January 1st. Okay, so it's a deposit up front. What the insurance company's doing is they're making sure that they're covered in case you have any claims that you pay the right amount of premium so far. Okay, so January 1st, I got to pay them $4,000 on a $10,000 policy, or they're going to say, well, you don't have any workers' comp policy. Okay, so that's where the cash flow there comes in.
Right. So if we did get someone after they paid the 40% up front, what I'm asking is,
Wait
we
till
can
next year.
train, or wait till next year?
Wait till next, because they've already incurred the cost.
All right.
Okay, so, the cow's out of the barn. It doesn't help to shut it up.
So that's the main course is the workman's compensation insurance. That's what you're saying.
Well, no, for that one feature of this program that we can offer. You don't have to do the workers' comp policy. That's something that we sell. That's an added benefit. Okay, that's like adding pin-based debit to a.
That's what I'm saying.
This isn't required. This is not required.
That's what I'm saying. We can transfer that that insurance stays with the merchant. That's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with us.
Right.
That's an insurance policy.
Right. When that insurance policy is done, then we can offer the insurance companies we work with the monthly. What I'm saying is when we convert over, it's when I'm already got. Let's say I'm already paying as I go with paychecks.
Okay.
Okay. I'm saying I can't leave paychecks because my payroll is tied to my workers' comp. Not an issue because we work with the same companies that paycheck us. We can now just take your policy and shift it to us, and we will now compute it.
So they have a pass. Other
Yeah,
companies
yeah,
have
yeah,
pass.
yeah. This isn't just ADP has the most companies that they work with. But so if they're working with Paychecks or any of the other companies out there, we can do the same thing. We just slide the policies over to us.
So we can still get they keep their insurance policy. They pay 40% up front. We can still get their payroll.
Yeah. This is an added benefit. Workers' comp is just an added benefit.
Right. I got you.
Okay. You don't have to do the workers'
It's
comp.
two
Two separate things.
Right. You weren't even listening. So how do you know these?
I didn't say a word.
Now, what's that? Okay. A couple things. Let's say you're in there. Okay. Now, you've got the guy to agree. What do you need to do now? Okay. First thing, if you look at your package, even going to be quicker. There are 2 sheets in there. Okay. These sheets. They both get 1 signature each. Right? And it's right where it says signature. Right? You need to get them to sign this. Okay? One gives them the authority to work with the states and the federal government on your behalf. Okay? The other one allows them to get into your checking account. We also need a voided check so we know which money the account's going to come in and out. Okay? Now, with this stuff here, get as much as you can. But if you can't get it, then what we need is a name and a number so Austin can call them and get it. And let them know that somebody will be calling. Yes.
The sheet isn't in the packet, just so you know.
It's on the backside.
The other side, Steve. All right.
gave me this the other day.
Everybody's, this is the third time you've gotten
No, no,
this.
Bro, you already know.
I hope the third time's the charm. Give me that, it's 3 strikes and I'm out. All right. Okay, now, one thing is, if you get somebody who's never done payroll before, and I'll tell you, it's a nice thing, because what's one of the first things somebody does when they're opening up a business? They get a merchant account. Okay? When you're getting that merchant account, you ask them, hey, you doing payroll? Well, we call it ADP. No need. Right? Okay, so when you're getting in front of these people when they're opening up their business, once again, it gives you the opportunity, when you're getting a merchant account, to get the payroll. Or you're in front of somebody because they're opening up a business and they want payroll. So what do they need? They need a merchant account. These two are going to feed right off of each other. It's just like a marriage made in heaven.
That's what some other payroll companies, they refer them to another processor other than us.
Right.
That's bad.
Right. So what you have to do is just as easy as you can, okay? If they've never processed before, basically what you're going to need now is we need to get their federal ID number, the state ID number, all the information they're getting from the state. Okay? So we know what numbers to report. Okay, so if they have them handy there, grab them so you can submit that with us. Okay? Also, what you're going to need is the employee information. We got to know who the employees are, where they live, what their filing status is, do they have any types of, so especially withholdings that have to be done. Okay. Once again, if you can't get that now, and there's like a form in here, it's like this, that's the summary. Okay, you can leave that with them. We will follow up to get that from you. Once again, if you can't get this, we will follow up and we will take care of it. Okay?
Understand that you're already talking to the customer about all their other needs. Payroll is, we got into payroll because we found that we can offer it lower. Think about this, we have a national contract with ADP, you already covered that? Yes. We're offering it less than the ADP reps are. You have a better price for payroll than ADP reps have. Because we got a wholesale price, and we're taking less profit than ADP wants in their view. So it's another way for you to build a relationship, something else you can talk about. But not only that, Steve's going to be rolling out a bonus program. And also, when you're signing payroll accounts, we're going to have an end-of-the-year profitability on payroll accounts because it's a recurring revenue stream, and you'll be receiving bonuses at the end of the year, at the end of 2013, based on how many payroll accounts you sign and the profitability of those payroll accounts. So at the end of the year, you get a big check, but you get a signing bonus too with everyone to sign. And also, Steve, you have something else you want to tell us?
Yes, I do. Well,
I'm glad you asked that.
you're interrupting my flow, but
And that is why I wasn't here, because I interrupt everyone's flow.
what it is that we're looking at the compensation, and payroll now is going to be part of your basic requirements.
Or qualifying. You know how you have to have a qualifier? Those of you who are on the base program, you have a qualifier. Those of you on agent status, it counts towards your counts into revenue and all the revenue you generate. And there's revenue being generated in these accounts. So it's another revenue stream. So whether you're an agent or salary, it's going to benefit you by signing these. A, it's going to count towards your qualifier if you're on a salary base. B, if you're an agent, it's going to count towards revenue stream. Good program. And if you're salaried also, at the end of the year, we're going to be doing the profitability based on that.
In the first quarter, book every analyst that we have. The first one to submit 5 payroll accounts.
5.
We get a $500 bonus.
$500?
Yeah. Anybody else who submits 5 will get a $250 bonus.
Coming out of Steve's.
I didn't run that by Mr. Jerry.
Taken out of his pay, so I don't know.
By March 31st.
First 5.
The first one gets 5.
And what we can do, what we want to do is, we've been talking about this, because we get paid in arrears on this like everything else, for our salary people, if we could build a, like you're doing now on your own accounts, we'll generate revenue, we'll do a 10% revenue stream on that. You'll have the option of getting a quarterly bonus, now I have a quarterly bonus program, put that in your quarterly bonus program and earn money on that too. So, and if you're on agent program, it's a residual stream. So I don't have to tell you how that works. So it's really important that you understand how it works. It's a revenue stream. We've got a company that called in, we beat their workman's comp price and we beat their payroll price. We're making, just like we do with credit card processing, we're making less profit in order to get more accounts. It's a great end too. You're not only just talking about one thing. They say, well, why are you in payroll? We want to be able to provide every type of quality service for a merchant that they could possibly want. And it's a quality service. This is real payrolls. ADP already go through all that stuff. I'm not interrupting your flow on that.
No, it's the last few things I had to talk about,
But understand that, everything looks, smells, and tastes just like the payroll system they have now, only it costs them less money. Same way with credit card processing, same philosophy. Some of you out there might be saying, geez, I can really sell payroll. No, it's a lot easier to sell. It is easier to sell than credit card processing, by the way. But it's just brass tacks, easy. This is what you pay, and this is what you can pay now. It's how easy it is to switch over.
I mean, ADP has reps that are selling 12 to 15 of these a month.